jiving and laughing and joking, but I'm actually paying attention. I'm concentrated. And I'm about to go on television and talk about that
Another
game.
thing people don't know about Jalen Rose. Great team player.
Thank you.
Ba'Hashem Yahushua Ba'Hashem Kadash Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well over the flock. Shalom and salutation, new brothers out here pushing the words of truth and sincerity. Shalom to the Akima Aqua of listening. Scattered abroad Israelites. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. Hebrew Israelites. We believe by history, by prophecy, and by faith that we are the biblical descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Thus, all of the curses in the Bible from Deuteronomy 28:15 on down are applied to us now. And all of the blessings of Deuteronomy 28:1-15 will be applied to us in the future. Along with the everlasting life and the words being written in our inward parts, which is part of the new covenant. Shalom. All right, so nonconformity of the world is written about throughout the scriptures, and this is a Wikipedia. I found a Wikipedia article about it. It says nonconformity to the world, also called separation from the world, is a Christian doctrine based on Romans 12:2, 2 Corinthians 6:17, and other verses of the New Testament that become important among different Protestant groups, especially among Anabaptists. I want to say this: whenever you're dealing with Wikipedia, you know, for them to make a bold statement as to say nonconformity of the world is a term that is only important or is important among different Protestant groups, especially among Anabaptists, but they leave out Hebrew Israelites. You already know they're not including us in this anything biblical. They're not including Hebrew Israelites. There's going to be no books talking about Christianity in the 21st century. 2022 editions that include Hebrew Israelites. There's not going to be any lessons of these preachers in these Baptist churches and Methodists talking about the rise of Hebrew Israelites. I mean, a Catholic will acknowledge a Protestant will acknowledge an atheist is going to acknowledge a Mormon is going to acknowledge an agnostic, but nobody will dare acknowledge Hebrew Israelites, especially not on a forum like Wikipedia. You'll find us in there, but I mean, nonconformity to the world, and that's what we all about. Let's continue. So they talk a lot of German and right. It says nonconformity is primarily expressed through the practices of plain dress and simple living. Cool. Says biblical basis. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may discern what is the will of Yahweh, what is good and acceptable and perfect. That's Romans 2:12-2. And that's what the basis is, finding out according to the scriptures and practicing what is acceptable, what the acceptable will of the Heavenly Father is. Okay? And we learn that starting with our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us these practices, who learned them from their elders, right? Who they always acknowledge. We understand that there has to be a transformation process in your mind. In your mind, like Bruce Lee would say. It all starts in your mind. And so then it says that you may discern, once again, a mental processy, all right, a mental functionality to perceive or recognize something, to distinguish, more importantly, to distinguish something, all right, or someone with difficulty by sight or with the other senses. The other senses. Scriptures talk about, your senses, having your senses exercised. Hey, when you come into the truth, man, prepare to have your senses exercised. Prepare to have your perception metamorphosize, right? I'm just being funny, but this is what's going on, man. You know, the brotherhood is alive and well. The truth is flourishing, alive and well. The haters are here, alive and well. The prophets are back, alive and well. The prophecies are moving, alive and well, man. We got a lot to be joyous. It's a joyous occasion, man. Happy are ye that are persecuted for my name's sake. Right? Happy are ye, man. How do you find time to be happy? Because this word, the fruits of the Spirit, is joy, right? Peace and love. And you brothers know the scriptures, man. So we actually excited about the times we in. The scriptures tell you measure the times diligently. And so we're having fun doing it. We're seeing all these articles. I mean, these articles are hilarious. Let me find one, you know, real quick. All right, I found one. Look at this one here, man. You know, I'll share this with the brothers. Wendy Williams says she can only feel 5% of her feet. Shows her lymphedema in the interview. I mean, look at that foot right there. The Most High is a fierce power. I mean, I don't know what's I don't know what's worse, the woman or the foot, if you can call that a woman. I mean, if you juxtapose her picture next to E.T., you know, you might you'll see a lot of resemblance there. This is a sight, man, to wake up to every day. But you know, the Most High is doing things. Ugh, man, let me get this off the screen. All right, so the Most High is doing things, man, and we are excited. It says, wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate. 2 Corinthians 6:17. And I mainly brought out the nonconformity lesson, which goes into why we need to be putting these shows up and pushing this work, and what is getting in the way of some of these shows coming up. Because what it is, the Most High gives us what to say. He gives us a topic, and then he gives us that fire behind that topic to just go ahead and hit the button, hit record, get the lesson in motion, get the scriptures ready, getting that spirit to prophesy, getting that spirit again. That's the Most High pushing that button, you know, because the spirit kind of is like the wind. It's sometimes it's on you, sometimes it ain't. But you pray that it's on you more often. So, you know, sometimes it's on you and you ready and you got the scriptures ready, and then somebody calls you, or you know, your woman wants you to stop by, or you know, the other woman wants you to stop by, you know, or you know, somebody comes in the house, you got guests now, and so forth and so on. There's so many, you know, situations in which, you know, cause you to not hit the record and just do what you're supposed to be doing. The brotherhood, we rather do this 24/7, man. These articles coming out every day, and they need to get spoken about and broken down. So let's get back into it. Wherefore come from among them, and be ye separate. That's the mentality, man. Once again, going back into the renewing of your mind. The Lord is transforming us, not to be conformed, right, with formation of this world. Conformed. For those that don't know, comply with the rules, standards, and laws. And it's mainly the standards, because we comply with the rules. You know, brothers ain't speeding everywhere we go, hitting donuts in the street, you know, playing loud music at 2 a.m. in the morning. We comply with the rules of this world. You ain't got to be completely backwards to be a Hebrew Israelite. It says, but standards, nah. Standards, nah. The standards of America are heinous, man. They're destructive. The ways and practices of, let's say, black culture, for instance, that's destructive. That's a self-destructive culture, if I ever seen one in my life, man. Every song on the radio is about killing, murder, subjugating your people, some way, selling drugs, drug worship, man, money worship, women worship. All right, irresponsible abilities. Nah, man, I'll pass on that one. You know, and the laws of this place. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, it was completely legal to murder a baby in the womb, man. I want to hear that mess about, well, what if, man, what if you didn't exist? What if your mom aborted you, man? You know what I'm saying? So let's continue, man. You can't be conformed to this world and love the Most High. You know, you gotta hate the good. The scriptures tell you to hate the evil and love the good. This place is evil, man. The ways of these people are evil, and they uphold them. It says, wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate. 2 Corinthians 6:17. 1 John 2:15. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And a lot of people, man, these Bible thumping, they love the world, man. The love of the Father ain't in you, man. The proof is that you love the world. Where were you on July 4th? Where were you on Christmas morning? You were busting open them presents like it was 1999, man. Like it was no tomorrow. Alright? We see right through some of you clowns, man. You know, you can't love the world and the love of the Father ain't in you. And just deal with it. It says, James 4:4, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? Now you can't even be a friend to this world. And once again, we always bring out the definition of world. See, people would say, the world? You meaning the globe? You can't love world? Look at world. Look at the definition here, world. Look at what pops up when you say world. Isn't that earth? Isn't this earth? Or is it the world? You see how English is a bastard tongue, man? Which one is it? Earth or the world? Because world is, there's so many multiple definitions to the world, man. World. Type in world and a little bit of everything comes up. You got news coming up. All I wanted, because there's no simple definition of world. The phrase world in the scriptures can either mean oikoumene in the Greek, which means the entire universe. It can mean including the inhabitants in it. It can mean cosmos, which is a separate society, where you get sea world and the animal world, or animal planet, and a plant life, and a bugs world. And all right, you know, you had a show back in the day called Bobby's World. You know, it's about the world of Bobby. That's another definition of world. Then you got the word world, that's eon, which means age. The world of the, you know, medieval world, which is a medieval age, medieval period. The bronze world, the world of during the Bronze Age. All right, the American world, the world, Esau's world. We in Esau's world, Esau's age. It says, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity against Yahweh? So the friendship of this society, man, the friendship of the ways of the people here, the cosmos, this order in which everyone, you know, agrees with, you know, the lifestyles of any lifestyle you want to live, and anything goes, and any sexuality, and teaching sexuality to the kids, and pan, trans, land. You don't even know where to begin no more. I mean, where does class begin for? Where does education begin for a child now? It begins at the reproductive organs. It's a madness, man. It says, whosoever, therefore, would be a friend of the world is the enemy of Yahweh. So now you have officially made yourself an enemy of the Father, because he created this place. You think there weren't people during the time of Noah that loved the world when Noah was telling them that it's going to rain? And all of y'all going to die in this rain. For 120 years he prophesied it. Do you think at one point in time they was considering like stopping loving the world that they lived in for the sake of being saved out of it? No, man. Love of the world is a deep infatuation with the lust of the flesh and the eyes. It tells you that. Gimme, 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 more, more. It's greed. It's lack of empathy. All right, it's hostility and emotional. It's fantasy. So, you know, the Most High didn't set up this world, this earth to play out the way it is now. I mean, this is just a test run of wickedness and what evil looks like in real time. That's the only thing you're supposed to think about this world. Well, this is what evil is. It says, whosoever therefore would be a friend of the world is the enemy of Yahweh. All right, that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of Yahweh. Luke 16:15. You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people. More the reason why you're not supposed to be who you fitting in with, man. How you supposed to soar with the eagles when you walking amongst the trolls, man? It says you are a chosen generation. Come on, man. Chosen, when you go into that word in the Greek, it's kolektos. This means elect. You ain't no regular smuggler person, man. Said the Japanese word for chosen means the beginning of the war. Oh, that's just too. Hey, man, that's the spirit of y'all. Y'all probably see that, man. You can't make this up, the beginning of the war. Oh, man. Hey, this truth is too real, man. Truth is too real. Pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this: to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. James 1:27. So yeah, now we're just gonna finish up with a few more scriptures on when you know, the main thing is what stops you from, being involved in this truth to your best ability would be the fact that you allow other people or the world, including other people, to influence you to not let your light shine. You might let the times you're in, or the folly of what's going on at the moment, or the fact that you have no backbone to just walk away and separate yourself for a few minutes, hours, just to push this word, which is a real thing, man. And it plays out every day, because you're meditating constantly in the scriptures if you're in the right spirit. And you're thinking it shows constantly. And you're watching, brothers. Another emphasis on separation from the world is watching the videos, getting edified. How are you going to be edified unless you listen to brothers' videos? How are you going to be encouraged once a week on Saturday? You Saturday niggas amongst these camps, man. How you really going to be edified, man? How you really turning back to the Lord for real? Are you any different than the average nigga that go to church once a week on Sunday and that's it, man? You got to be constantly and consistently. You might wake up to the show. You go to sleep to rubber shows. Constantly. You reading. You understand. You getting definition. Things are being defined. You're seeing articles. You're in all the chat groups. You're sharing information left and right. You are a part of, once again, I'm going to emphasize, a part of the groups that brothers have set up on WhatsApp and this, that, and the third, to hear, be edified, to learn, to share information, encourage brothers to continue in the works that they're doing, to keep their hand on the plow. If you are not part of this great machine that the Most High has built called the body, and being nourished by the different parts of the body and different members, how are you even considered to be in the truth? How are you maintaining? How are you structured? Once the thumb detaches from the body, it don't just screw back in after once a week. If that thumb is outside the body for a period of time, it dies. That goes with the vine. The scriptures tell you got to be attached to the vine. The vine is of Yahweh Shah. Any man, unless you are attached to Yahweh Shah, you're not going to flourish. The same with the body, man. John 11:16. Then said Thomas, which is called Didymus, unto his fellow servants, let us also go, that we may die with him. All right. Romans 15:22 says, for which cause also I have been much hindered coming to you. But now having no more place in these parts, and having a great desire these many years to come unto you. What's going on is you're having men like Thomas, disciples amongst the 12, and disciples amongst the apostles, and the apostles themselves who are considering going to visit men, writing to men who are fellow servants, writing to men about fellowshipping in the future, about their desire to come in fellowship with them. There's a connection amongst the brotherhood, amongst the body, that the body needs to be constantly in connection with each other, with each other's members. If your body just start falling apart, well, they diagnose you with disease. If your limbs just start disattaching, you're gonna hate yourself. You're gonna wish for death. So the body is constantly, connected. The problem is when you think you're connected and you're not. And the problem is when you disconnect from the body for too damn long, man. This world is a consuming, it's a consuming fire. It's a constant, it's a well-oiled demonic machine in which sucks you right back in. It's a overexposure to too much light kills the picture. Overexposure to too much darkness kills the picture. It's a proper balance. The Lord said, I want to take you away from the world, out of the world, but I'm going to keep you from the evil. The scripture tells you, walk towards them that are without, with wisdom. Walk with wisdom towards them that are without. You're going to be in, we are sent as sheep among wolves. All right, be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Use the world, not abusing it. And no sensitive form. Are you supposed to be a nomad? Be a monk and just go hibernate somewhere in a cliff? We're gonna be amongst these people daily. Yahushua came eating and drinking. He was amongst the people, but he kept to the body and he kept to his standard, and he kept not to the Roman standard of the Pharisees and Sadducees. He kept to the true standards of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, the perfect will of Yahweh, what is acceptable to the Father. So here you see Paul speaking to his brethren about coming to see them. It says, for which cause I have been much hindered from coming to you. Let me zoom in a little bit. It says, but now, having more place in these parts, and having a great desire these many years to come unto you, whensoever I take my journey to Spain, I will come to you. For I trust to see you in my journey, and to be brought on my way thitherward by you, if first I be somewhat filled with your company. Paul's desiring to be filled with company. Associate with company to companionship, right? It says here, companionship, presence, the fact or condition of being with another or others, especially in a way that provides friendship and enjoyment. Oh yeah. And when the brothers are in each other's presence, we have friendships, we fellowship. Keyword fellowship. What does that mean? Friendly association, especially with people who share one's interests. Scriptures say, don't worry about how the wicked will be punished, but how the righteous will be, delivered. And seek one like such as yourself, like unto yourself, and don't accept a man against your own spirit. Come on, man, it's all here. You're supposed to desire to be amongst brotherhood, point blank, period. Romans 15:28, when therefore I perform this and have sealed to them this fruit, I will come by you into Spain. And I am sure that when I come unto you, that I come in the fullness of the blessing of the gospel of Yahushua. Meaning that's how he's coming unto you, through the same spirit. He's letting you know the spirit that he's coming in. And he's going to be accepted because he's coming in the same spirit as them. All right? That's why it works. Not because y'all totally, completely different. Not because we from different walks of life. It's because it's because we're from different walks of life, and we are in the spirit and filled with the spirit. And we have the same gospel. We preach it the same Yahushua. That's why we can't vibe like that with Christians. We can't vibe like that with Mormons. We can't vibe like that with Muslims. You can't vibe like that with atheists. It's not the same. 1 Corinthians 16:15, I beseech you, brethren, ye know the house of Stephanus, that it is the first fruits of Achaia, in that they have addicted themselves to the ministry of the saints. Interesting word to use about somebody who's in the truth. Addicted to the ministry. Addicted. Informal definition. Enthusiastically and devoted to a particular thing or activity. Devoted to. Devotee. In love with. Enamored with. Obsessed with. Fixated on. Crazy about. Nuts about. You're nuts about this truth. If you're nuts about this truth, we gonna click. If you are in love with this truth, we gonna click. If you're obsessed with this truth, we gonna click. If you crazy about this truth, because I'm crazy about this truth, we gonna click. What mean to be nuts about? Like very much going on, being infatuated with. You be going on this truth. Deep romantic, right? Fixated. Come on, man. Enthusiastic. By the way, the definition for this word enthusiastic, it comes from the Greek theo, in theo, so which means in God, which means basically the spirit of God is in you. You have been controlled by the spirit of God. Basically, you have not a demon, but you got the spirit of God on you. See, the opposite of having a demon on you is having the spirit of God on you. Either way, you're going to have a spirit on you. The Lord said, you are not covered with my covering. His covering is a spirit of Yahweh, enthusiastic. Right? You crazy because you got a spirit on you, but the spirit is of Yahweh. It's a righteous spirit. It says that the first fruits of Achaia that have addicted themselves to the ministry of the saints, that ye submit yourselves unto such, and to everyone that helpeth with us and laboreth. There's a submission. Because you got a lot of guys right now. There's a submission to that you do to men who have the same enthusiasm, who are also addicted to the ministry. There's a submission to them. There's a giving in, a yielding, okay, to cave in. What does that mean? To subside or collapse, right? To capitulate, cease to resist an opponent or an unwelcome demand. Surrender. You become agreeable, have the same opinion with something, concur, consent, give permission for something. You give permission to the apostles to lead you and guide you, man. Conform, behave according to socially acceptable conventions or standards. What is the socially acceptable convention or standards of Great Millstone? Watch the videos, teach the word, preach the gospel, do a show a day, and if you don't, make up for it, right? Fellowship with the brotherhood, submit to your role, because you're not submitting to men, you're submitting to your role in this body. And the body has a head, which is Yahweh Shah, but the body has order. The body has order. When every part of the body and member, no matter how big or small, plays their role, that's when the body functions at apex capacity. You have to behave according to the standards that are acceptable to Yahweh Shah, because what are we doing this for, men or Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah? What is the vehicle in which Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah wants us to operate in? The body. What does the body consist of? Men who are all on the same accord, of different rank, so that no one gets out of line, man. So what's wrong with people, man? That you submit yourselves, so you have to do the submission. Nobody should have to submit you. You submit yourself unto such as who? Such as are addicted to the ministry of the saints. says, and to everyone that helpeth with us, even the helps. You're even submitting to the helps. And laboreth, all the laborers. So you are in a service. The word ministry in itself, to minister. People think that means to preach. Hold on, man. Hold on. To minister, the work or vocation of a minister of religion. Good. What is the actual meaning? Why was the word minister used? The action of ministering to someone, you see? Hold on, minister. Hold on, minister. See, minister. Ministry. Minister. A member of the clergy. Cool. The head of the government. The archaic, a person or thing used to achieve or convey something. Used. Right? To provide. You provide. You're a provision. Minister. Minus. Less. Here we go. Mine come from the word minus. You know minus. Plus. Minus. That's you. Less. You can't minister and be a plus. You got to minister and be a less. And a minus. You are the minus. You subtract your ego. You subtract your pride. You subtract your anger. You subtract your emotion. You subtract your logic. You subtract your ways. You subtract your dreams. You subtract all your the ego, the id, whatever you want to call it, the super ego, all of that ain't got no place here. Because you're less now. You are a minister, a servant. So serve. Servant. How you get around that? How you get around that? What does a servant do? Did Yahweh Shah not say the servant is not greater than the master? What does a servant do? I am glad of the coming of Stephanus and Fortunatus and Archias, for that which was lacking on your part they have supplied. For they have refreshed my spirit and yours, therefore acknowledge ye them that are such. 2 Corinthians 1:23, moreover, I call Yahweh for a record upon my soul, that to spare you I came not as unto Corinth. He wants to go see the men and the brothers at Corinth. That first was Spain. You see Spain, that's Tarsus. Then was to see these men here. I'm not sure where they are at. Achaia, I believe. No, that's a person. And here is Corinth. Corinth, I believe, is in modern day Greece. And Macedonia, which is north of Greece. Come on, man. Troas, I believe it's his own island. This man, Paul, Apostle Paul, went around to greet men and be in their favor and be in their stead. Why? Because he was ministering. He was a servant. Why? The water brother. Why? Because that's what the servants do. Call Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Lord, in this video is edifying, feeding of the flock of the elect, the nation of Israel. That's 1/3 of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Not all of you. All right. May this video be edifying for the elect. Till next time, Shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah.